Good morning. This week's devotion is Why Not Me? Have you ever been the one not chosen? Have you ever gotten passed over for a job? Or you didn't get the part you wanted in the play? Or you didn't get picked for the team you wanted? You didn't get that solo in the anthem? Not being chosen can really hurt. It can make us feel like we must not be good enough. What's wrong with me? I've had many of those moments over the years, and some hurt worse than others. And the lesson from Acts this week, one of Jesus's disciples has to deal with this. Listen to the story from Acts 1:21 through 26. This is where they were trying to replace Judas to bring the number of the apostles back up to 12. So, one of the men who have accompanied us during all of the time that the Lord Jesus went in and out among us, beginning from the baptism of John until the day when he was taken up from us. One of these must become a witness with us to the resurrection. So they proposed two: Joseph, called Barsabbas, who was also known as Justus, and Matthias. Then they prayed and said, Lord, you know everyone's heart. Show us which of these two you have chosen to take the place in ministry and apostleship from which Judas turned aside to go his own place. And they cast lots for them, and the lot fell to Matthias, and he was added to the 11 apostles. So this tells us that this Joseph had been a disciple and following Jesus since his baptism by John in the Jordan River. That's pretty impressive, right? And in this, it doesn't seem that they even considered his strengths. They cast lots. That's the equivalent of flipping a coin or drawing straws. They put their names in a hat, and whoever's name they pull out, that's who was chosen. Now, true, they believed that God would guide their hand while they were pulling out that name. But I wonder if Joseph was disappointed. He isn't mentioned again in the Bible, and I was wondering what happened to him. Surely, after following Jesus for so long and being so faithful, he wouldn't just give up. So I did a little research. He is called Saint Justus by the Roman Catholic Church. Tradition said he became the head of the church in Eleutheropolis, which is now a town in Israel. According to the biblical writings, the non-biblical writing, the Act of Paul, which was a book that didn't make it into the Bible, it says that this man was arrested by Nero and then released, but later was martyred. Does it make you feel any better that Joseph did continue to follow and found a place where he could serve? Does that help us when we don't get the job or the position or the part that we want? Does it help to think that maybe it was God's will that we didn't get it? Actually, that does not help me very much when I'm disappointed. It makes me wonder what was wrong with me that God didn't want me there. And I don't believe that God is behind some boss who showed favoritism or picked one of their friends for the job. But what I get out of this is that God does still have a place for us when we don't get the job we're hoping for. Don't give up. God is still with you. So in times of disappointment, I look to Romans 8:28 that reminds us all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. God may not have caused me to get passed over for a job, but can still bring me to a place where I can belong and where I can serve. God can lead us to a place where we can serve and make a difference, even if it wasn't where we wanted or expected to go. You may even find that the place where God leads you after great disappointment may be better than the call that never came. So when you encounter a setback or get passed over and are disappointed, remember that God is still with you and will still help you find the place where you can be the person that God created you to be. Have a blessed week.